Everybody, and welcome to the Magento Enterprise link demonstration. Okay, obviously Magento is an e-commerce web shop, and Enterprise is a ERP CRM application. And this is obviously a demo to demonstrate linking between the two. Okay, so we're in the actual link application now. So we're going to server settings. Okay, effectively you can have as many enterprise databases in here as you want. It's just a case of obviously telling you where the SQL is, and then obviously picking your database. We have a little bit down here called copy server details, and what this does is what we envisage is people placing orders on their Magento web shop and effectively practicing, and putting them into their demonstration database, enterprise demonstration database, and then at some point wanting to go live. So obviously the ability to switch over very easily and copy all the actual details from one to the other. We've done that so it can be done quite quickly. Okay, let's go into the Magento bit. Okay, so here we've got three options at the moment. Orders from Magento into Enterprise, updating the stock quantity, the quantity of the stock in Enterprise to Magento, and updating the sell prices in Enterprise to Magento as well. Okay, so let's concentrate on the first one, web orders. I don't know if you noticed that the screen changes. I pick on different ones. Okay, so the first bit here is where we're going to we need a folder space to actually bring down the orders and obviously upload the information, and that's obviously just saying where we're going to put it. The import interval, okay, this allows us to do it every minute, every 5 minutes, every half an hour, every hour, once a day. How often do you want to go and check for orders effectively? And this little tick box here makes it active and enables the scheduler. Okay, so down here we have FTP details, and these are the FTP details of where the actual files are going to be. So Magento Link can go and get those files and bring them into Enterprise. We also have another thing here, okay, called a command URL for sales orders. Okay, what this does, you give us, for example, your database details, your Magento database details, and some FTP details. Usually the same as the ones up here, okay, and then what happens is we have a Linux application in Internet land on an Internet server. When you execute that encrypted URL, it tells it to go to that database, go and get the orders, and put them in this FTP space, and that's obviously all encrypted, and it's not saved on that particular server or anything like that. It's all within that encrypted URL. Okay, so we've got some options when we're doing orders. If in the order, if there's an item that doesn't exist in Enterprise, do we actually want to create that item, or do we want to enter it onto the sales order as a non-stock item line? Okay, so we've obviously opted to create new stock items if they're in Magento but not in Enterprise. We've got another option here to do we want to create new customer accounts, okay, or do we want to use a default e-commerce shopper account? So effectively all the orders go to one customer account. A lot of people want to create new accounts because obviously that means they can be part of your target lists and your mailings and all that kind of good stuff. Okay, we also got another bit here to say for missing information, like, I don't know, specific defaults, if they're not coming down with the file or whatever, do you want to use the default e-commerce shop customer account for the missing information, or do we want to use the customer class templates? And obviously in Enterprise we've got a customer class template for every country, and customer type that we could want. Okay, so let's go now, okay, to my demo Magento store, place an order. So let's go into, this is just a standard Magento shop with a bit of skinning. Obviously I put a logo there, and obviously it's got some items, and this particular web shop sells balloons and balloon accessories and party accessories and fireworks. Okay, so we're going to go into kind of latex balloons. We're going to pick on this red 25-pack red balloon here, and we're going to place an order for one of those. Okay, so standard Magento shop, proceed to checkout, and I'm going to create a new account. Okay, so I'm going to go first name, let's say Happy and Gilmore, happy at gilmore.com, and a password, and I'll save the account and continue to check out. Okay, so now it asks me for the billing details. Okay, so I type in here, these are the actual that I want to appear on the actual bill itself. Gilmore, Gilmore Inc. or Limited. Address line 1, address line 2. Let's city, city, county, postcode, country, telephone number, fax number. Okay, so we're going to say ship to a different address. If I say continue, it'll ask me to put in that shipping address now. So I'm going to go ship, last ship, company ship, address line 1, ship, address line 2, city, ship to, state, ship to, postcode, we're going to ship to, telephone number, and fax number. Okay, so I'm going to say continue. It's saying what methods you want to ship by. Obviously these are the standard shipping methods in the actual shop, so that whatever you set up in your Magento web shop. So I'll say continue. I've only set up here the the money order one, but effectively, obviously, I've not connected to a payment gateway. But what you'd have obviously here is credit card or whatever, or Protex, and you can set your shop up to capture payments there and then. So if you've got an order for £100 and you can capture £100 there and then, or what you can do is you can set up your gateway to sort of authorise and capture. So what you can do is you can reserve the £100 on the credit card, and then when you actually produce the invoice in Interprise, that's when you can actually bill the £100, capture it. I think it's better to do authorise and capture, because if you have to change the order up or down, reduce the quantity, change some item lines or whatever, it means you can do it and just bill the amount that you're actually shipping. Otherwise you end up having to do refunds for the difference. Okay, so I say continue. The good thing about this though is it passes the authorization code on the credit card to Interprise. So you've got your order in there and you've got your payment. Yeah, when it actually when you actually post the invoice, it will capture those funds, and that's what Interprise normally does. Okay, so I'll place the order. So it'll tell us what order number here. Okay, order number 70. Okay, so let's go into our Interprise and admin. I'm logging in as admin. I'll test demo UK database. Stop that scan. Okay, let's go to customer. Let's go into find order. Okay, and obviously it's not there because I've not actually run Transaction Broker. Okay, so Transaction Broker would sit on either a workstation or a server, preferably the server. Yeah, and what you would do is you just set it running, and it would do it itself. It would kind of automatically schedule the runs. But and all you would do is say use scheduler start, and then it would just leave it alone, and it would automatically keep doing the updates. But obviously I'm going to run it manually here. I'm going to run it manually once, so press start on there, and that should go away and bring in the orders, if there are any. And obviously we know there's one, order number 70. Okay, so let's go back into Interprise and go find orders, and we should have a new order in here, number 70. Very good. Okay, from Happy Gilmore. Gilmore Limited. So if we open that order up, we can do in Interprise what we'd usually do, which is obviously print pick, the pickers come back in, print delivery notes, print the invoice, all that kind of good stuff. And if you run multiple web stores, you can actually configure it to print off the logo relating to whichever web store. So if you've got one web store, one logo, another web store with another logo, then effectively the stationery and Interprise will actually put the correct logo on, as it knows which website it's actually coming off. Okay, so let's look at the sales order. Okay, so there's our standard red item, there's the description, there's the price, there's our address, and obviously there's our ship to address. You can see here, that. Okay, and obviously we've got our freight and all that kind of stuff, and the order value. Okay, so let's go back to here, and let's say stop that. Let's go back to Magento. Okay, so this time we'll look at the stock quantity. And what we can see now is that we've changed the export location, and obviously you've still got the interval that we actually want to update stock. I presume that you probably want to update stock, I don't know, every hour, once a day or whatever. It's not going to be as regular as kind of go and get the orders. Okay, so same FTP details here. A different command URL, the one that sort of says, here Magento, here's a file, yeah, update your stock please. Okay, so let's go into options, and what the main option here is which warehouse and Enterprise do you actually want to use, yeah, to update your stock values. Okay, so let's enable this and save it, and let's go into Interprise and double click on my standard red item here. There we go. Okay, and let's do a adjustment in. Let's put some stock in, or change the stock value. So we're going to put some in, and I'm going to change the quantity, up it by 10 to 98. Save and close that. And what I'm going to do is we'll be able to see in here, if I just refresh this screen slightly, you'll see I've now got 98 in stock. Okay, so let's just go into Magento for a minute though, so we can actually see that it does actually change it. Magento admin, and password. Okay, close that. Let's go into our item, manage products. And let's type our red balloon in here. Red standard, I think it's called. Alright, so what we can see here is it's £8.80 and 88 in stock. Okay, so I've already changed it to 98 in stock. So when I run transaction broker now, obviously it'll get any orders that are there, and it'll look for it'll update the stock now as well. So let's kind of go back to Magento, and let's refresh this. And what you can see, hopefully, is 98 in stock. So it updated it toward the level that's in Enterprise. Alright, let's go back into the item, and let's go to pricing. And one of the things I wanted to show you in Transaction Broker was, just stop that for a second and go back to the Magento and click on item sell price now. Okay, same things here, okay, and different command URL for there. But effectively what we can do is we can decide in Enterprise which price or price list we want to use to update our sell prices. So if we've got multiple websites in Magento, we can put the website name here, and then we can pick the price list that it corresponds to in Interprise. So we can obviously update different websites, different prices for the different items. Okay, so let's enable that one, and let's just disable that one, disable that. Oops. Also, you have to press save over here. Okay, so there's item sell price. I didn't enable that one. Dear me. Would have been good for a demo. Okay, right, so back to start, and let's click on run once, and let's go back to Magento, and let's click on this one again, and of course it didn't change because I didn't actually change it. Okay, so £9 we're going to make it. Okay, and back to this, and start, back to Magento, and now it says £9. Whoopie-doo. Okay, so sorry about the early one, but at least it shows you, you know, you do have to actually update the price to make it change. Okay, right. So that is effectively it. If we go back to Transaction Broker, obviously you wouldn't run a Transaction Broker like I've done there, which is kind of just turning the different ones on and off. You would effectively go in, you would say yeah to that one, great, okay, yeah, I want to update my stock as well on a particular timer or whatever. Yeah, well, I want to update the prices. Okay, great. Start, scheduler, bang, start, and just leave it. And up here there's a kind of option to send it to the tray. Yeah, as well as obviously view the log file, and if there's any errors that come up, like there's a problem, it'll actually email someone the actual log. So it just sits there, and obviously all you need to do is monitor it occasionally. And that's about it. Thank you very much.